February 22nd, we've got more weather systems coming our way. East Coast going to get hammered in the next 24 hours. A nor'easter that is developing rapidly. They could see over a foot of snow in New York City. So that's going to cause flight delays for you. This is downtown Truckee. Surprise, it's sunny. That's not a surprise, but surprise how warm it is. It's 34 degrees this morning in Truckee. There's still snow around. It's been a pretty busy weekend from talking to the locals up at the lake in terms of skiing. It was busy, right? The roads get pretty packed when everybody goes skiing because it haven't been that many days recently where you could get like this. So it is a Monday today, and people are getting back to work, but still there will be a lot of people on the hill. This next shot is the Truckee Airport. Truckee Airport got a temperature on it. I think it's 34 degrees. So that is warm. We've got a weather system coming in. The next weather system, very different in nature than the last weather system, which was cold, low snow elevations. This next weather system has more of a higher latitude, more subtropical moisture with it. It'll be called an AR at some point. We'll just call it lots of fuel. But that warmer, moisture air will increase the snow levels up. So we're not going to see snow levels at 1,500 feet. We're going to see snow levels at 5,800 feet, which is right at pass or a little above. There'll be snow higher up. And so we'll keep an eye on that. That is more towards Monday and Tuesday. This is Heavenly Valley this morning in beautiful sunshine. And again, warm at Heavenly Valley. I think we got a temperature on this guy too. Yeah, 29 degrees, but it's up high, right? So you're getting a little bit cooler than you would at Truckee today because of the atmospherics. But Heavenly Valley, I think Tahoe will see another foot of snow as we go into Tuesday and then Monday and Tuesday and into Wednesday. Alarm clock just went off. And then these are the current temperatures. And I just wanted you to see kind of what we got in terms of how mild it is temperature-wise. It's 50 degrees in San Francisco. This morning it's 48 degrees in San Jose. So the story is in the Pacific Northwest, Northwest California. Good morning, by the way. Hope you had a good weekend. That we're going to see these flood watches. Right, so you got a flood watch up around, this is National Weather Service. Flood watch, in effect, it's Monday evening through Tuesday. And in this gold area, let's see what we got there. Hang on. What are they calling that? That's a high wind warning. Okay, so that makes sense. So the system's going to have its greatest impacts. Point Arena northward. There's plenty of moisture. That's why you have a flood advisory. But most of that moisture will be in that northern part of the state. But again, Lake Tahoe, you'll get a foot of snow most likely, but at a higher elevation. So what that means basically is that snow that's in Paradise right now, the snow that's in Magalia, the snow that's in Grass Valley, that all melts away pretty much. And as that melts away, you're going to see the rivers climb a little bit, but we're not anticipating too much trouble because, again, it's not raining at 6,000 feet. It's raining at 5,000 feet. So you don't have the copious amounts of snow. This is Steamer Lane. Swells are small, and they stay small. Tide's low right now. Tide goes high all day. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, we got some rain, man. Got a lot of rain. Got a lot of snow. And we had a nice couple of days. Temperatures yesterday got into the mid-60s in parts of the Bay Area. And today, Los Angeles is going to go 74 degrees. Santa Barbara goes 68. Bakersfield 65. And Steamer Lane. Let's take a look at the models. Got a couple of shots here. This is the system. And you can see it's pretty complex. It's got a pretty good looking complex, right? You got kind of a double barreled low, right? If you wanted to call it that. There's a low center there. And there's a low center there. And of course, here we are. Let's see if I can stick a loop on this for you. Can I? I think I can. No, I can't. Okay. I wish I could. There's always a time. So that's what we're tracking. Most of the cold air with this system is going to be up in here, right? And so this warmer moisture air is going to come in underneath it. And you'll see that based on looking at the models coming up here. So if we take a peek, this is precipitable water. Actually, I think I want to go, hang on. Where is there it is. Let's go like this. I'm going to have to move this out. Here we go. Okay, so this is the GFS 500 millibar vorticity. We're circled, and you see the low. You see you see them dumbbelling around each other, these two lows. So double barrel low, we used to call it. And you see that ridge. The ridging's pretty strong. So the dynamics stay offshore, but the moisture streams in. and that low continues to spin, and then it kicks in here as we get into this coming Sunday, so a week from today. So this low is going to kind of plague us all week, but the main event with this low is going to be Monday night into Tuesday in terms of potential rainfall. So we'll look at it more closely. So that's the basic broad brush. Those are the strokes, right? And then we go here and we look at, well, was there moisture available? It's a little different projection, but you can see the precipitable water. You kind of know what that means. You're looking for the greens and the purples. And hang on, let's see, there we go. Okay, so watch what happens as we go into, where are we right now? We're on, well, we're on Thursday. I see what we did. Okay, so we got to make a quick change here. Hang on. Go here. Just getting used to these new maps, but I kind of like some are very good for us. There it is. Okay, 20th. Okay, awesome. So now we'll take a look, and you can see the moisture plume. See it coming in right there. So this is Monday. Can you see it? See the purple? So that's a lot of moisture. That's Monday into Tuesday into Wednesday. That's part of the reason it's warm, is because the air mass is coming from the subtropics. So there's a good amount of moisture available in the atmosphere. Now, the dynamics sort of stay offshore. That's why we're not expecting aggressive rainfall, except in Crescent City, north of Cape Mendocino, and that northwestern quadrant of California. That's where the dynamics will be. That's where the moisture will be as well. The moisture is going to be everywhere. That's why it's going to be kind of mild. But the dynamics to drain out the water are not really that available. So let's come in a little closer. This is the 500 millibar. Kind of, this is the jet stream. I could put the jet stream in right now. So this is, you remember, the colder air is this, the warmer air is this, and the jet stream, if you just trace it, right? Look at a big ridge of high pressure, big trough, big ridge, big trough into the east. So it's just another way. Remember I said the jet stream is a division between cold air to the north and warm air to the south. That's what it is. This shows that we're at 18,000 feet, and you can go, okay, there's the jet stream. The dynamics in the cooler air is out here. The warmer air is here. Now, the warm air is a dynamic. The warm tropical air will be unstable. It will create some more graphic components. There will be some drizzle and light rain. But the real heavy rain, see that front quadrant right there? The front right quadrant of this low? It's not the lower right, but it's it's in the right quadrant. That's where the heaviest rain is going to be. That's why you have that flood watch. So I will say this. There's a lot of talk about snowmelt, because we saw that, how long ago did we? Many years ago, back in I remember a couple of events in the 90s and even the 2000s where you get a bunch of snow, and then you get, like we just had, and then you get a warm storm like this, right? But this isn't an exceptionally warm storm. It's just a warmer storm. So it's going to be snowmelt, but it should stay in the lower areas, which, Blue Canyon, a foot of snow is going to melt off. The creeks will rise. We'll keep an eye on those. But right now, I'm not seeing it as a problem, but it could be. It could be. So you're going to hear a little bit of everything, right? You're going to hear a lot about snowmelt. But it's definitely a warmer system. Remember we talked about weather systems having personalities? This is the slow, warm, southerly cousin, right? As opposed to the snow event we just had. That was the cold, cold storm. Personalities. And they have little variations on the personalities. Awesome day yesterday, huh? Oh, so nice. Today will be nice too. This is the GFS. This is going to just kind of broad brush it. But here we go into tonight. Not really much of anything except Northern California. And then here comes their potential. That's the dynamics meets the moisture. And this is on Monday evening into Tuesday morning. So Monday night out of Tahoe, and then it slips in. So Monday, now we're into Tuesday afternoon. So Monday, Tuesday looks like a wet day, okay, for all of us. Be interesting to see what happens in the mountains. Then it breaks off on Wednesday afternoon. And then we get back into another system that swings in here next weekend, and then another system that's a little colder. So it's going to be needless to say, if you're doing outdoor work, construction work, it's going to be a busy week, just kind of, but the models, I think that's going to be close. That's the broad strokes. And then as we get closer, we'll narrow in, like we're narrowing in with this. This is the GFS, just that different presentation. And I think I like this map better too, you guys, because It shows us. Let me make sure I got the right. Yeah, I got the right date. You can see the state lines better. It's not as. It's a little bit less aggressive in colors. Doesn't mean it's not going to be as much rain. It just means it's more subtle. This is a more subtle map, and it's more detailed. So here we go into. Let's see. We go here. This is right now, and then we get into Sunday. Actually, yeah, I said today was Monday. Today's Sunday. Sorry, I said off the top. That's today's a good ski day. It's a day off. This is what time? What do we got here? We got Sunday at 10 a.m. So just the clouds, the warmer. That's why it's warmer. And then we get into Monday at about Monday evening, okay, and then Monday morning early, or Tuesday morning early. And then Tuesday morning, mid-morning. So that's it. That's the main heart of that thing. And then, and you can see the snow levels, you know, they're going to be pretty high. And then you get, kind of moves through. That's by Wednesday morning. And then we get a break. And then we get this next system kind of marching in next Sunday. Right there. And that looks a little more robust. And we've got, you know, it's a little bit colder storm. And that looks like it takes a pretty good whack at the mountains on Sunday evening. Again, it's a week away, but you get it, right? So I hate to get too far out there, but again, I reiterate, today is Sunday. I said Monday off the top when I was looking, because I was thinking I didn't see any cars in Truckee, but I mean, again, the stories I heard out of Palisades and Sugar Bowl, I had a couple of folks we know were up there skiing. They go, yeah, the roads were packed, you know, because again, you know, it was ski week too, which I didn't realize, which is the thing. So, you know, people rent condos and you got to go. So that's where we are. We're at the end of the week, the long week and holiday week and the end of the weekend. This is accumulation of rainfall. So this is that first run. I'm going to run it through. This is just a running total of what this week looks like. And Southern California, you guys are out of it. You guys are mid 60s, low 70s all week. This is Tuesday at 4 p.m. So this is after the event. So that's the footprint. You see Crescent City over 5 inches of rain. Can you see that? Let's see. I'll punch it in a little bit. I wonder if it'll work. Yeah, a little closer. So Crescent City's got the big bullseye. This again is 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. And then this is into Wednesday morning. Or Wednesday evening, pardon me. So, you know, a foot and a half, 2 feet of snow in the mountains, but at higher elevation. And then that next pop comes in right there. And that's how the rest of the week looks. That's through the weekend, through Sunday, or through Thursday and Friday. So, okay, it's going to be an active week. Beautiful out there right now. You know, it's going to be, you know, those clouds you're seeing, and the warmth you're feeling, especially in Lake Tahoe area, is due to that subtropical moisture that's entering the atmosphere early, which is coming in our direction. We'll look at the sunrise over Mount Shasta. Let's see what I got to tell you. Yeah, the East Coast thing. Yeah, that nor'easter. It's a big one, and there's gonna be flight delays. Plenty. Tomorrow. Today, they develop fast. This is going through. They're going to call it an atmospheric bomb. It's actually bombogenesis, is what we call it in meteorology school. It just tells you. It's just basically, hey, this system is deepening to 24 millibars in 24 hours, right? So that's a big storm, a big drop. That means the winds are going to be there. That means the dynamics are going to be there. This thing has an engine, and so it turns out it has moisture as well. That's some of the moisture from that system to the north. Snow in the mountains above Fort Jones. Fort Jones today is going to go, what are you going to go? Well, Redding's going to go 52. Fort Jones will go probably about the same, maybe a little cooler. This is Crescent City. We got fog on the hill. This is Wairika. It's going to be a cold day up there today. Wairika's going to be probably 49 degrees for a daytime high. Beautiful day out there. And again, you see clouds. This is Paradise. So I want to point this out because this is Magalia up here. Paradise is down here, just down the hill. But it's interesting. We used to, like I think I told you this, they'd cancel school for the kids up here, and it would be no snow down here which is literally a mile, 2 miles, but the whole town is built on a slant. It's a slow rise. So Magalia is probably 2,800 feet. And I think Paradise proper, my house was probably 1,800 feet, something like that. So 1,000-foot difference. But the snow's still there. Even got down into the Feather River Canyon a little bit. But that will be gone certainly by, that rain event that's coming on Monday night will be enough to kind of melt that snow out. And then this is San Francisco this morning. San Francisco today is going to go 63 degrees. Tomorrow about the same. Let's see if I can find the city. Where is it, Cameron? There it is. There's that big old city. It's not the most beautiful shot of San Francisco. You see Mount Diablo off in the distance. Talked about Mount Diablo the other day, right? How it's the main coordinate for if you have a home in Northern California and own property, that somehow your home, your latitude, longitude, your survey stuff is originates from the Diablo grid and is tied to the Diablo grid. Because yes, that's just what it is. It's perfect. It's the perfect mapping. I think I told you just the French mappers when they came in, they were so excited because you have this prominent peak with 360-degree view. There's not that many places like that. That Mount Shasta certainly, but Diablo was even better because from Diablo you could shoot all the way to Lake Tahoe, or Echo Summit. You could shoot all the way to Point Reyes. You can see, and the farther you could see, the larger the map grids were. You didn't have to take a lot of reads because you could make them just to do a big geometric triangle, 3 points, and boom, map it out. And so the French were super stoked when they found Mount Diablo. San Francisco today, like I say, it's going to go about 50 or 63 degrees. I just said the wrong number too. And then this is Lake Tahoe, which is weird. I mean, it's going to be pretty warm today. It's 34 degrees right now. We do have a freezing temperature at Heavenly, but up high, that was 29 degrees. Here is Salinas Valley, beautiful day. Air quality gets good on these days. Salinas will go about 62 degrees as well. Yesterday we had some mid-60s. This is Bakersfield. Bakersfield is going to go 65 degrees, and yes, no fog. Look at those beautiful, beautiful green hills. It's stunning. It's interesting about California. I've mentioned this before, but you see the green hills, that's wild oat, right? And so wild oat, that's a lot of reasons we have our fires are so prolific in the valley, in the hills. We have that wild oat, that tall grass, that brown stuff. It gets, a couple feet tall, and it burns. And so California has this, this high fire danger thing. It used to not be that way. In California, before the Spanish came, before the conquistadors, there was bunch grasses, little bunch grasses. You still see native bunch grasses in places, and they don't burn. They space out. They're not a real fire danger. It turns out the Spanish came in with their horses, and on the hooves of the horses was the wild oat caught up in the hooves, and that populated the entire state of California and much of the West with this wild oat, which changed the history of the place, because now it's a fireplace. It wasn't a fireplace. I mean, there was the Native Americans would burn, but the wild oat like it exists now, where it's everywhere and you see it, it's crazy. And that is how it began, on the hooves of the Spanish horses. So just a little thing like that completely changes the history of the state. This is Vandenberg. Vandenberg today is going to go 65 degrees. And then this is Los Angeles. Look at that day. You got a day, man. LA, you're going to go 74 degrees. Shut up. Look at you. There's downtown, which is funny because nobody in LA is really not downtown, right? You always think, oh, that's LA. It is LA downtown. But LA is like all of that. Pasadena over here. And then that looks like kind of Malibu up to the north, up by... gosh, I forgot the name of the point. There's a couple of them, but up by Zuma and up by Point Doom is what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's Point Doom probably. But again, no fog, no clouds, no bad air quality. It's a day. And again, temperatures in the 60s and 70s. And then this is Laguna Beach, looking back on the hills, kind of to the right is Saddleback, and behind you are the mountains that are showing a lot of snow. Pretty nice day everywhere. And then it changes, right? Mostly for Northern California. And a little warmer storm, and there'll be some snowmelt, but I'm not seeing anything that's it's not a fire hose kind of event. It's more of This moisture is coming from somewhere a little warmer. It's going to be, snow levels are, instead of being at 1,300 feet, are going to be at 15 or 55, 5,800 feet. Forecast highs today. Let's look at tomorrow. About the same, a little bit warmer. Look at, even with cloud cover and a chance of some showers tomorrow night, and those clouds coming in, it's still going to be 64 in Chico and Redding. Reno's going to go 54, so it's pretty warm. And then there's the East Coast storm, you guys. This is the low that's developing. It's coming up the coast, and it's just going to ride right up the coastline. It's got moisture coming down, or cold air coming in this way, and it's grabbing onto this moisture from the Gulf. It's called a nor'easter because it travels from north to north, kind of up the eastern seaboard in a northeasterly direction. That's why they call them northeasters. They run the coast. And again, the main takeaway here is flight delays, flight cancellations on Monday, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You look at this. Boom. Look at all the East Coast watches and warnings. Now, these are only through for the next 24 to 36 hours. It's a quick moving system, but flight delay, a foot and a half. I'm seeing over a foot of snow in New York. That hasn't happened since like 2016. So you've got, it's just gonna be messy. And if you mess up New York's flight patterns, you're going to mess with Chicago, which messes with Dallas. So there's hubs that get affected because New York's a big deal. All these East Coast airports are going to be under the gun. This is the surf. It is not that big. Surf's kind of manageable right now. A little sloppy. Ocean Beach is just like 4 or 5 foot. Tide's low going high right now. So the tide's coming up. It's not a big change. It's low. I think it's around 0, about even. And then the high tide's around 3.5 feet. So low tide in the morning, high tide in the afternoon, Ocean Beach. This is Point Conception, barge offshore, good air quality, really nice day. But then you see those high cirrus clouds coming in. Those high cirrus clouds are from this guy again. Let's take a look at it again. I like satellite images, as you do too. So this is our system. It's really a good-looking system, and it's a shame in some ways that its trajectory is. So here's the jet stream, right? Its trajectory is kind of right in this area. And the right front quadrant's going to tap into the northern part of the state, right in here. But you see all that moisture. That's a good moisture plume, and then it's grabbing this. This is the real AR component of it. We'll see how it goes. A lot can happen. We talked about this not yesterday, but I think I talked about it on Friday. Like, I didn't want to commit on this thing. I'm not seeing catastrophe, which you'll hear catastrophe, like a big snowmelt, and because everybody remembers because what I'm getting at is you get, 9, 10 feet of snow in the mountains. And I remember this. This was, actually Dennis was up at Heavenly when it happened. He called me. But there was like 5 feet of snow on the ground, and it literally in like an afternoon, it just was obliterated by the warm rains. And of course, all that rain runs into the rivers, and then all the snow melt runs into the rivers, and the rivers just go wham. And we've had a few of those, and that can happen. I don't see that as happening, but we will certainly pay close attention. But I would stand up, raise my hand, and go, if it was even really, if it was 80, 70, 50% chance, I'd say something. I don't see it even being that. So, this is fun. There's, I believe that's Jackie in the nest. The nest is right now, we talked about this. The Eagles lost a clutch to the Ravens, their eggs, and they may be back attempting. She's still fertile from what I understand. I can't tell if it's her. I think it is. She's close to the camera. That's why, because she's bigger than Shadow. But I think that's, oh no, I'll be damned. Well, there's Shadow. There's Shadow right there. It's kind of being a shadow. That was kind of cool. Did you see that? Yeah, the best part of the show. So let's keep our fingers crossed. I know. There's a lot of good eagle. Now, you guys are all awesome. You go, hey, there's eagles in Carolina. There's eagles in Klamath. But I've really grown attached to these two. I know. It's a part of the drama of my daily life. This is Big Bear Lake, not windy. And they're thinking it through. We could see something good happen. If you're one of those eagle people from Friends of Bear Valley, I'd love to hear your take on that. Where's our camera? 20% off. I'm going to refresh it. I'm like, this is Mount Shasta. Let's see. Is it going? Oh, dang. Come on. Sorry, you guys. That's bumming. Okay, I wanted that. This is North Star. North Star is pretty warm. Now, interesting, isn't it? Like nobody's up there. I guess the resort doesn't open for another hour. But based on what I heard last couple of days, it's busy. A little wind up there. You see the flags blowing. I don't know if you can see the flags. A nice day. And then Mammoth Mountain, 28 degrees, so they got a little chill. I'll dress this a little better for you. And I think this camera moves. Let's see if we can move this one, There we go, we're moving. Don't get greedy. There's the snow blowers on the hill. You see those? These guys are guns. Got nice looking groomers. They got some snow, right? I don't remember. I didn't see the totals on Mammoth, but I'm gonna say Tahoe. Billy came in at over like 90 inches, over 100 inches of snow. I think 9 feet of snow. 8-9 feet of snow over that event. So that is, in terms of helpful, it's very helpful. Venice Beach today. You guys go 72 degrees. Beautiful day. Enjoy while it lasts. Although Southern California, it's going to be nice. Everything south of, Fresno is going to be pretty nice. Everything north on Sunday night into Monday is going to get a little wet. Okay, you guys are awesome. Kind of burned through, so I got some company. So I wanted to get this out for you on a Sunday morning, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. What can I tell you that's interesting? I don't know. Let's keep our fingers crossed for the Eagles. That's kind of cool. I'm encouraged. See you back here.